So long, Resi.
And the world continues to have Carlos in it. All's well.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster-making virus. It was greed.
The real monsters are humans. No more raccoons yet.
I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them.
So it was a vaccine decoy that she had. Smart. All right. Let's skip this in case it's copyrighted or something. Oh, was it just the thing that she held? Not... thought it was a decoy. All right. So it was... yeah. What decoy? Survivor! C! Lower second. Not very good. Deaths, I guess. I'm not sure what counts into the rank. Time perhaps does. I'm sure deaths do. Probably time saved. I don't know. I've not looked into it and I've never experimented to see. We're getting good ranks, Speiss Autarr in Resi 5, so perhaps I could have done better. Anyway, let's see what I've unlocked. Quite a few things. Yes. Parts don't need unlocking, they're always unlocked. The shop, however, you can now purchase items for the shop, which is accessible via the menu. Points used to unlock items can be earned by completing in-game challenges. The thing that this remake was missing and is missing is the Mercenaries mode. Especially considering there's a shop and you get points. Like it's such a wasted opportunity and potential to just have a mercenary mode like the Nemesis had, the original game, and then you unlock all this stuff and you play it again. They could have had even a co-op mode to it. Nah, I don't know if that would work. No, it didn't need online. It needed the mercenary mode basically. How would I rank this now that I've replayed it? Similarly, I think to the first time I played it. Overall, like, if I don't see it as a remake... Right, alright, hang on. Rewind a little bit. I have not played the original Nemesis game since I was in high school. I am now much older than when I was in high school. So, what I'm going to say about this game comes with that caveat that I don't remember the original enough to do a good comparison, to judge it on its merits as a remake of that game. I very vaguely remember enough things, I think, because I had played that game a lot. So it's impossible to forget it completely. So there's a couple of comparison points I'm gonna make that are based on those memories. I think there are bits missing from this remake, which is a shame. So this game could have been longer. I don't know, however, if those bits were good. I have some vague memories of like going around the city more than we do in this game, in the remake. I remember vaguely some giant worm enemy or boss in some cemetery of some kind or some kind of park. I do remember Carlos also getting sick at some point. Right, so there's bits missing. I don't remember the bits in detail. I remember like very vague stuff. The fact that I still remember them might imply that they were good, but I don't know how it worked in terms of pacing. It's possible that for the sake of pacing, they cut bits out. I don't know. I can't really speak to that. The thing I can speak to, however, is that they changed Nemesis substantially. and fundamentally from how he worked in the original game. And the way I remember it is it was random encounters, and you'd go around the city and he would appear and chase you, and it was a constant sense of dread going about doing things. There was always a risk that you were taking every time you were backtracking or wanting to check something. He would appear out of nowhere. And yes, he was increasingly like becoming more sophisticated or more advanced. Like he would start use weapons. I think he also mutated the way every like boss mutates in this series, or at least originally. So they've kept that, but they've reduced him to mostly, not to mostly, they're all scripted encounters here. And some of them are basically cutscenes with a little bit of input. There are boss fights. The boss fights are alright. It's a little bit of a well, no, it's not quite a repetition. Actually, it looks like it's repeating itself, but it's doing a new thing. There was the earlier one where he was running around outside the hospital and you had to throw mine rounds. And then I thought this was a repetition of that when we got to the penultimate boss fight with him. But no, they did it differently there with the hiding behind the pylons or whatever. And then you had to zap him down. So that was good. As a game on its own, I think it's good. I enjoyed it the first time. I enjoyed it the second time. I think perhaps I enjoyed it a little bit less the second time, mostly because there wasn't the unknown and the excitement of seeing these environments and these characters and what they've done with it. You did not like the boss as much. Why not? Yeah, the scripted bits are, I don't know, neither here nor there. Like, they add some, the bug? Bug? Which bug? I'm not sure which bug you mean. Ah, right. Oh, okay, I thought you meant about a boss, and I'm like, did I fight a bug as a boss and forgot about it? What the fuck? Nah, I think it was frustrating and tense. I think it was meant to be. I didn't hate it. It made it very risky to be in there. And it had some items around as well. So it was a very, very risky thing to do. I think it was fine. I didn't mind it. I just wish Nemesis wasn't as scripted. In a different game that wasn't a remake of what Nemesis the game was, maybe I would have been like, alright, it's some cinematic bits and we fight him and all that. But it has the weight of the legacy of being a remake. Unintuitive? I wouldn't say so. There was a running theme in the bosses where he would like come to you or come towards you at the beginning, and you could, while he's chasing you, shoot the generators or the power boxes and zap him, and then hit him or run away. Then on the boss fight at the top of the building, he was doing that. He had a flamethrower. There was another power box that you shot and zapped him, and that stunned him, and you could do damage or heal, or it gave you some time to do stuff. And then he played on that theme in every boss fight, just with different things. Like it gives you mine rounds, and you find files in the game that tell you that mine rounds are not really like when you get the launcher. You have the gammas that you face. The game explicitly tells you that the mine rounds are useless against them. So that weapon at that point is for them, but you have a weapon, an ammo type that is not for them. So the only time when that ammo type becomes relevant is with Nemesis. And he starts running around. What ammo type do I have that's been useless so far? That one. So, and again, the thing you're trying to solve there is how do I stun him to hit him? If you don't think of that, I guess you can end up hitting him, and yeah, it's playing on that. And I suppose if you don't make that connection there with the mine rounds, you may end up wasting all your ammo trying to get him down, and then you're in a tough spot. And then what's then? What do we do after that? I think after that was, yeah, we got infected. We have the hospital with Carlos. We get the Gammas in there as well. Yeah, and I think then we fight him in the facilities where he hides behind the things, and then you shoot that to bring him down. It's that theme, I guess. As far as Resident Evil bosses go, it's kind of as sophisticated as it gets, at least for the earlier series. It's a puzzle that makes sense. He seems to not be stunnable otherwise. I like that at the beginning they did the bit where he he falls on his knees, and that's where you've beaten him, but have you? And you get some reward for that. That was a thing in the original game. But yeah, the scripted nature of it cheapens it, I think, a little bit. Makes it predictable, makes it less scary, less daunting, less anxiety inducing. You know when he's coming, you know exactly what he's going to do. And if you've figured it out, that's it. Fun game. I enjoyed myself. I would replay this. I think it's a good game. It could have been better as a remake. Is it too scary? Is that why? I think the only time I actually got scared was a couple jump scares with zombies when I didn't expect them. Way too scary. Okay. Yeah, it's a funny. I don't know. It's a weird thing because I used to play it when I was a teenager. So I think I was still in middle school. Actually, no high school when this was out. It was middle school. Yes. What am I saying? It wasn't high school. Yeah. And it was scary, but it wasn't scary in like I would like be afraid. It was tense. It was that kind of scary, but also cozy in a way that the old Resident Evil games were, and it's hard to put into words. I think it was the camera angles, the way everything was quiet, and the only thing were the zombies, and you could hear like and there were things like fires around, and if you learned the layout enough, like I had played it like dozens of times, I would wake up like about 2 hours or an hour and a half before I had to go to school, and just try to finish the game before going to school. Yeah, the zombies are so soothing. I mean, it's deep breath in, slow breath out. It's really relaxing. It's like secret puzzle bits, the finding and storing things in the right order and saving ammo, but still can never play it. I think it's also the way it's structured. You get a very, very clear sense of progression. You do a little bit here, a little bit there, and there's a sense of I've done something now. I've made progress. I've figured things out. Perhaps that's the other thing. I don't remember the puzzle situation in the original game. There weren't many puzzles in here. Like essentially the only real puzzle we had was the like leveling out the things for the vaccine, which I mean, okay, Resident Evil has those puzzles. Every Resident Evil has them. So I guess this one had to have them as well. I'm almost tempted to more like managing the limited storage early on. Yeah, I suppose that is a puzzle in its own way. Inventory puzzling. Not as much as in 2, but yes, path optimization is a thing. And also, I guess if we zoom out, there's the whole puzzle inherent in games like these of how to get through them most efficiently. There is, if I'm not mistaken, a trophy for finishing this under 2 hours. It might actually be in here as well. Let me see. The more I look into these, the more I wish there was they had the mercenary mode. I really, really do. Right, let's have a look at the concept art we've unlocked, and then we can perhaps head off. So these they're not frogs. They look like weird fish that have grown legs. I think that was it. Okay, there's a lot of models that I have not unlocked. And the shop. Gradually regenerate health when held. Carry more to increase the effect. This is an interesting cost benefit balance. I guess this would perhaps make sense if you're playing it on the hardest difficulty and you're really optimizing your path and you want to not risk dying if you mess up at any point, and to not waste time either picking up health items or going back to like storing and making health items up, or making up health items, yeah. Creating health items. While health increases the amount of ammo gained when crafting? Oh, I guess we combined the stuff. I guess I'll wrap it up. Had a good chunk left. I play it slowly. 8 hours for this game is like pushing it. As I said, I enjoyed myself. Some criticisms that are perhaps 50% to do with the fact that this is a remake of another game. It might be worth playing the original at some point, just to see what it was like. But I might need to get used to, like, play them a bit offline to get used to the controls and everything before I play them on stream, just to save anyone watching the pain of watching me try to get used to tank controls again, because I have not played the old Resident Evil games in perhaps 20 years, so it's a long time ago. But I'm curious. I do have this on the Xbox as well, and I want to eventually hunt some trophies and achievements down, so you'll see me again play this at some point again. But I'll wait a bit. Right. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.